Shall I go on with the clothes?
Go on with the clothes.
In addition, during the past year, Her Majesty the Empress has bought 136 dresses, 71 corsets, 87 hats, 520 pairs of shoes, 980 pairs of gloves, 24 pairs of...
Bought?
Yes.
But not paid for?
For the most part, not paid for.
What's her dress allowance? 360,000 francs a year?
Yes.
What's she spending? Or owing?
4 times as much. Shall I move on to the jewellery?
No.
Will your Majesty speak to the Empress?
No.
Sire, what, if anything, am I to do?
Knock 20% off the bills and pay them.
20?
All right, 25. You should be glad of Josephine's custom without wanting money as well.
Yes.
You should be proud. You know what men are ruled by, Duroc?
Honor, loyalty, and patriotism.
Vanity. All men. Frenchmen most of all. They don't want liberty and equality. They want glory, splendor, pomp. Makes them feel important to have an emperor who's never lost a battle. An empress who's the best-dressed woman in the world. This whole court is part of the pomp.
Sire, not all men are vain.
Duroc, if I said to you, you've served me well, I create you duke, what would you feel?
I'd be proud. Yes, and pleased.
Pleasure is when someone tickles your vanity. Let Josephine have her dresses. I must tickle her vanity too. I have to ask her a difficult question.
You know. You have only to ask.
You are the best of wives.
I try to be.
There was a moment when we spoke of divorce.
When you spoke.
The moment is over. I've dismissed the thought from my mind.
Thank you.
Things are going far too well with us.
Yes.
Except for one thing.
Can I try to please you better? In one thing.
You do understand that it is of paramount importance for myself, for you, for France, that I should have an heir to my throne.
Yes, I understand.
I need a successor. If only I had a son. Who knows that you are past childbearing?
Am I?
Corvisart says so.
Does he?
Categorically.
Then Corvisart knows.
Does anyone else?
I have not told anyone.
Corvisart keeps a secret.
He told you.
Oh, good God, I'm your husband. He's my doctor. I made him a baron. I pay him like a prince. He had to tell me. He had to tell me that you were deceiving me with false hopes.
The hopes were mine, too.
Josephine, will you please not cry? Suppose someone else, a woman of good stock, good family, were to become pregnant.
Pregnant?
Just suppose.
Who?
I simply say suppose, and suppose I was sure, not the slightest doubt, that the child was mine.
Yours?
Yes.
Who is this woman?
There is no woman. I simply say suppose. Will you please? Suppose.
Yes, of course,
Suppose,
if you tell me to.
suppose. Suppose that you were to appear to become pregnant while this other woman, this hypothetical other woman, was pregnant. Suppose that you were to appear to give birth while this hypothetical child is born. You would be its mother. You would go on being empress. And France would have what it needs. A child of mine to reign after me as Napoleon II. Would you agree?
I always say yes to whatever you ask. If it is best for you and for France.
Thank you, my dear. Shall we go to dinner like a fond old married couple?
In a moment. I must repair the tear marks.
I shall see you in a moment.
If Madame de Remusat is there, would you ask her to come in?
Don't let her see the tear marks.
I shan't. Your Majesty? Claire? He has a new mistress. I must find out who she is.
I gather that the ceremony will be colourful and splendid.
Will it?
The Emperor will put the iron crown of the old kings of Italy on his head and announce, "God has given it me, woe to him who touches it," in Italian.
The Emperor speaks very good Italian.
I'm afraid the Austrians will misunderstand him.
Why?
The Austrians believe God gave Italy to them and Napoleon touched it.
So he did.
I am the strangest person. Last year I wanted your husband to be king, not emperor. Now he's emperor, I don't want him to be king.
A great emperor, a great king.
The greatest man on earth. Such a pity he isn't lazy.
Madame du Château.
Your Majesty.
Your beauty as ever is
Indefinable.
incomparable.
Oh, what a shame.
Why?
I would like a comparison.
Give me time to think of one.
How long will you need?
I shall have thought of one by midnight.
Josephine's watching them.
We must do something.
Your Majesty, I'm bearing off one of my men on my 6th point.
Napoleon, forgive me. I'm longing to play whist. Will you pardon me? Shall the Bonapartes challenge the world?
Madame du Château,
Prince Murat,
will you join me?
if you wish.
It's for your own sake. The Empress is watching.
Shouldn't she watch?
If the Empress is jealous...
Prince, don't imagine that... Well, how shall I put it? That I'm having an affair with the Emperor.
If you're not,
I'm afraid I'm not.
then may I persuade you to have an affair with me?
Is there room for any more feathers in your cap?
Oh, I'll throw those all away.
And your wife?
Ah, well.
One can't throw the Emperor's sister away.
Wives are politics. Mistresses are love.
Isn't everything politics?
Do rocks in or Berthier?
I've been with them all day.
If you refuse everyone, I suggest we shall never play whist.
I've been with men all day. I need civilizing.
Well, Claire and I will civilize you.
Takes at least 3 to do it. Ask... who... Ask Madame du Châtel to join us, would you?
Is that a good idea?
A lady in waiting, wife of one of my councillors. If you imagine anything else, you're mistaken.
Everyone has gone to bed, sire.
Good.
If I could persuade your Majesty to dress more warmly, the corridors are very draughty, sire.
Draft tells me move faster.
Well, sire, would it not be simpler if I were to bring the lady here?
It would not. Good night, Constant.
Good night, your Majesty.
Wake up, madame, it's 6 o'clock.
What?
6 o'clock. Constance, let me just tell you. Oh, madame.
6? My darling, we were fools. We fell asleep. Not fools. It was marvellous, but fools not to wake. I must get back as fast as I can, as best I can. Till tonight. I adore you. A young woman, a girl, a maid.
Dark or fair?
Dark, I think. Yes, she had dark eyes.
Pretty or plain?
Well, pretty, I think. The eyes were big, dark.
Francoise.
You know her?
Yes, sire.
Find her now. Tell her if she wants to continue working
Yes,
here.
sire.
But put that down. The restaurant I will manage.
Yes, sire.
I'll give this female spy a lecture myself. Bring her to see me this afternoon.
Yes, sire. Would your majesty do one thing for me while I'm away?
What?
Shave upwards.
I have not enough time to shave upwards.
I beg your majesty to consider. We are at this moment at war with only one country, England. I am in hopes that the rest of Europe will come to forgive France her good fortune and her great glory.
I have considered this.
But if the same head wears the crowns of France and Italy, Austria will not forgive.
I shall take the crown of Italy because there is no one else.
Sire, I agree you have no equal, but...
If I go to war with Austria, is that good or bad?
Bad.
Why?
You will win.
Is that bad?
The rest of Europe will be frightened into fighting you.
I shall win.
I imagine.
Is that bad?
Sire, when an English prize fighter retires unbeaten from the ring, he opens an academy of boxing or takes a public house. Emperors can't do that.
Do you wish me to continue to be emperor?
It is necessary for France.
I am emperor because I give France glory. Appetite comes with eating. I must continue to give glory.
And when you retire?
My son will inherit a great empire.
Ah, your son. Yes, sire.
I will have a son sooner or later.
And will he continue to give glory?
There will no longer be any enemies.
I understand.
Do you understand this? How many soldiers have I got in France?
I imagine Berthier has counted them.
400,000.
They get 3 sous a day and a ration of bread. If they want meat, if they want more money than 3 sous, if they want promotion, if they want glory, if they want new boots, if they want wine, they will find these in another country. Find them by taking them. And that is not how you live, Monsieur de Talleyrand, nobleman, foreign minister, grand chamberlain. But it is how an army lives. I'm a realist in these matters.
Forgive me, sire.
What is it?
The person your majesty wished to see has arrived.
Person? I'll see him in the...
Yes, sir.
I shall not go to war with Austria. But if Austria should choose to go to war with me...
We shall be ready to march.
Francoise, sire.
Get up. So, you took it into your head to spy on me.
No, sir.
You spied on me.
Sire, I was doing what Her Majesty the Empress told me to do.
What did Her Majesty the Empress tell you to do?
To wait there and watch.
Watch who? Watch what?
Watch to see if anyone came out of or went into any of the bedrooms, sir.
Did you see anyone?
I
What did you? Out with it.
saw Your Majesty going into Madame Duchatelle's room soon after midnight and come out again at 6 in the morning, sir.
You saw.
Yes, sir.
And what conclusions did you draw from that?
Sir, I was told to watch, but...
But what?
I wasn't told to draw conclusions.
Did you tell Her Majesty the Empress what you'd seen?
I said I'd seen nothing, sir.
Was Her Majesty pleased that you'd seen nothing?
I think so, sir.
You think so?
She gave me 5 louis. I beg your pardon, sir. 5 Napoleons.
10 Napoleons. Her Majesty the Empress told you to watch again tonight.
Marianne is to watch tonight, sir. I am to watch tomorrow night.
Give them to...
Thank you, sir.
And leave us. I must deliver my sermon to this young lady, who will keep you informed as to what nights she is on duty.
Yes, sir.
Sermon.
Yes, sir.
Lesson in history. You may not have learnt history.
No, sir.
The court of the Bourbons before the Revolution was riddled with immorality. Queen had lovers, the nobles, mistresses. When they are corrupted, corrupts the whole nation. After the Revolution, the Directory fell into decadence and vice. Decadence which enfeebled the whole nation. I had to destroy that regime, create a new one. A regime based on moral values, importance of the family, sanctity of marriage. The Empress and I are in complete agreement on this. Our court must be an example to the whole nation. The Empress is right to set people to watch. She must make sure that my laws are obeyed.
Yes, sir.
It is also true that the Emperor himself is above the law. He decrees, and he need not obey. I am not subject to the rules of common mortals. I'm not subject to any rules. I'm not a common mortal. If you tell the Empress what you have seen, I shall know it. And I shall tell the Empress what you have done.
Come back to sleep.
I must go. I have some work to do.
At 3 a.m.
A time like any other time, and I must be careful of your reputation.
And of your own.
Creeping along corridors at night.
Darling, if you're seen in the corridors, you're still the Emperor. If I am seen, I'm no longer a virtuous woman, fit to be at your morally respectable court. You do want me to be virtuous, don't you?
I want... What do I want?
Me.
Yes. But... I'm a successful ruler because I have more common sense and can make decisions faster than anyone else. But with you, I have no common sense, and I can't make a decision.
Your decision is to be my secret lover.
I'm your secret lover because that's all I can be.
I have a husband, a jealous old husband, and you have a wife.
Even more jealous.
So we must be secret.
My requirements are simple enough. For an hour in the evening, perhaps, I need something other than the masculine hardness of government and war. I need the society of women. I need to be able to talk to a charming, elegant, cultured, amused... You? I need to be able to talk to you.
You do talk to
Josephine watches. Why can't she understand that I need to be able to talk freely, openly with a woman who is not her?
If she believed it was just talk.
I also need sometimes what every man needs sometimes. I spend my day being told I'm the most powerful man in the world. Why can't I have what I need at the end of the day?
Because we're in this situation, are we?
Then I must change the situation.
Are you as powerful as that?
Suppose you were to become pregnant.
Darling, I take very good care to make sure I don't become pregnant.
Suppose.
And I suppose my husband wouldn't believe that he was responsible. And I suppose your wife would be more than suspicious. And I suppose that the child would be beautifully but unfortunately the image of you. Why do you want me to suppose?
It's a thought I had.
It's not a good thought for me.
No.
Secret mistress is better.
But not what I need.
Well, then you'll have to make a decision.
Yes.
To make your wife more unhappy or less?
I imagine she is unhappy.
Because you don't love her.
Did she say that?
Last night, Claire de Remusat and I went into her room. She was sitting in front of the mirror, tears streaming down her face. I am growing old, I am no longer beautiful, the Emperor doesn't love me.
She said that?
5 hours ago.
Poor woman.
Yes. Great ruler. Most powerful man. You will have to decide.
Yes. You're looking very beautiful this morning, my dear.
Thank you.
Very.
Did you come to tell me that?
Compliment was spontaneous. I simply came to see you.
Oh, and it is lovely to see you.
And to say that...
What did you come to say?
My darling, you may remember a notion that I had, a theory.
Oh, you have so many.
But a hypothetical...
Yes.
About a hypothetical
Yes,
woman.
yes, I remember.
Last night I considered it more deeply.
What did you decide?
I decided it was not a good thought.
You know that I would have agreed.
It would have meant my being unfaithful to you.
Oh, I'd have understood.
It would have been a betrayal.
It would have made me feel that I was helping you in some way.
Another woman's child.
I would have become its mother.
You should be pleased that I can't be unfaithful to you.
I only want what is best for you.
It wasn't a practical notion.
I would have kept the secret.
Yes, but would the real mother, would the midwife, would whoever else? There would have been rumor, disbelief. I mean, from the mere fact of your age.
Yes.
We've been married 10 years. You're 42. You're a grandmother.
Yes.
Well, it would hardly seem likely.
Yes, I agree. I agree. My age.
Good God, there's nothing to cry about. You're still a beautiful woman.
Still.
I'm still your husband. I still love you. What more do you want? There's no reason to cry. There's no reason to sit staring in your mirror. I'm not beautiful. I'm getting old. He doesn't love me.
Who told you that?
No one. I imagined it.
You did?
Yes, I imagined you sitting there crying into your mirror because you foolishly believe I don't love you.
You imagined?
Yes, I've known you long enough.
Long enough?
Yes! If you can't be pleased with what I've told you, I must ask you to think about it. You will decide to be pleased. I hope.
Your Majesty.
Good morning, Your Majesty. Last night I said something which you two heard. You two only. It has just been repeated to me by another person.
Your Majesty, that isn't possible.
Isn't it? Do you know he seduced his 3 sisters, one after the other?
Your Majesty, that is
They
simply
love
not
him
true.
incestuously. They love him and they hate me.
No, Your Majesty.
Caroline, most of all, she wants to destroy me.
Can
She wants to become the Empress. She wants him to have mistresses who take him away from me.
Your Majesty,
And Juno, look. Look at Napoleon now. Why do you think he sent Juno to Italy? She'll be the next.
Dear Laura, the gossips have been filling your head with mischief.
But who put it into the gossip's
Whoever
heads?
put it there? Why listen to mischief?
Because Juno's my husband.
Wives should not think badly of their husbands, or they may make them worse.
Wives are entitled to know what their husbands are doing.
They are entitled neither to know nor to care. If Juno's been amusing himself in Italy, what's that to you?
A matter of some importance.
Trifle, which you wives think important when you know it, which is nothing when you don't.
But when I'm told,
Don't listen.
may I not ask my husband?
Do you know what you should do on such occasions and what you should say?
What should I say, sire?
Nothing. Grand old proverb, the hen should be silent in the presence of the cock.
Would you excuse me, sire? I think Her Majesty is not well.
Well, whatever it is, it certainly isn't morning sickness.
If you decide that Josephine no longer means anything to you, then the situation is not what it was before. Until now, you have wanted me, but you have also, perhaps more strongly, wanted to keep up appearances. If you now feel strong enough, as Emperor, not just to be above the law, but to show that you're above the law, if you feel sure enough of this, then you'll feel sure enough to announce it. I don't mean an official bulletin. Announce, in the sense of letting it be understood that the Empress is still the Empress, but is only the Empress. That someone else who is not the Empress is more important to you. You understand that without this it's difficult for me to go on, wearing one face by day and another face by night. I should like to be your helper, if it's possible to help you. Oh, darling, I'm proud to be your mistress, but I do want to show my pride. Did you hear all that? Or have you fallen asleep?
I heard every word.
It wasn't to persuade you, but to ask you. To ask you to make a decision.
Yes, I know.
Oh, I'm feeling lazy and loving. Can I have one word of persuasion?
Yes.
I do think I could help you.
Yes, I know. You may have felt for some time now that I have been what shall I say, moody, not in the best possible temper. This is partly due to the fact that I have great problems on my mind. The situation in Europe, likelihood of a new war with Germany, with Austria, God knows whom.
Yes.
And partly due to the fact, I must tell you frankly, my mind has also been occupied by the thought of another woman. I've had to make a decision, an important decision. For myself, for her, and also for you. The woman is Madame du Châtel, whom I admire, I esteem. I have come to the conclusion that if I were to take her for a mistress, she would try to help me, politically, perhaps. Politics is difficult enough without any help from women. I have a horror of petticoat government. Your great advantage, my dear, you don't give a damn about politics. I have not told Madame du Châtel of my decision, but I feel that it would be better if she were to retire from the court. And I feel that it would be better, since she is a member of your entourage and not mine, if you were to tell her and not me.
If you wish me to. I suggest Plombier or Aix-les-Bains.
Your Majesty, I am not ill.
You're tired. Your duties here have been tiring.
I have not found them so.
Oh, you need a rest. You need to take the waters at a spa.
No.
You need quite a long rest. Your husband will understand. I should think he'll be quite pleased. I've never really felt he cared for your living at court.
May I ask, Your Majesty?
If you like, I'll talk to him myself.
That's not what I wanted to ask.
Ask.
Did Your Majesty choose to wait until the Emperor had left for Boulogne before noticing that I was ill or not well or tired?
Yes.
I had imagined so.
I waited because the Emperor told me to wait. I never question his decisions. I advise you not to question me.
I do not know of any reason why the Emperor should have made such a decision.
Nor do I, but I obey. Would you be so good as to leave in the morning?
Sire.
Madame du Châtel.
Gone, sire.
Did you give her the miniature, the portrait of me?
Oh, yes, sir.
And was the frame well done, as I'd ordered it?
Yes.
Gold with those pearls?
Yes, sir.
Good.
You may see for yourself, sire.
What?
Well, she kept your portrait, but returned the frame.
Caroline? Oh, I know I mustn't call you that. I mean Princess. If it were possible for your Royal Highness to find me a job, any sort of a job, I'd be so grateful. Revel took all my money. Then he forged things. He went to prison, but of course I didn't get my money back. I had absolutely no idea what to do, so I went to Madame Campan. She thought of you. She thought you might remember me. She thought you might perhaps have a vacancy in your household as a lady-in-waiting, or anything. I really don't mind what I do. I just don't want to starve.
I shan't let you starve.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Princess. And I really will do whatever you want me to.
Stay here. I must talk to my husband. Murat.
Hello. Who's the girl?
Eleonore Denwell. She's silly and sensual, and she'll do whatever she's told. Come and look at her.
Yes, I will.
And tell me if you think she might do.
Do?
For Napoleon. Darling, this is an old school friend of mine, Eleonore Denwell, my husband.
Delighted to meet you.
Prince.
Hmm. 'Yes, good idea. I agree. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'Cause I have a great deal of respect for you. 'C
Mademoiselle Denwell is here.
Show her in.
Mademoiselle Denwell, sire.
Do sit down. Is it cold out?
Yes, sir.
Would you like a glass of wine or cognac?
Of wine, please.
Give Mademoiselle Denwell a glass of wine. I think my sister Caroline spoke to you.
Yes, sir.
And explained.
Yes, sir.
Then I don't have to explain.
No, sir.
I hope it wasn't inconvenient your coming here.
No, sir.
I shall make a more convenient arrangement for the future.
Whatever you wish, sir.
You understand I'm extremely busy.
Yes, sir.
I think it would be better if you have a house of your own, close at hand, and then I can call on you when I have a moment to spare. An hour to spare for an hour's conversation.
I understand, sir.
What else? I believe you're married.
Yes, sir.
Do you want a divorce?
Yes, please, sir.
I'll arrange it.
Thank you, sir.
I think we shall be able to talk to each other more easily if you don't call me sire all the time.
What would your Majesty like me to call him?
I shall have to decide.
Yes, sir.
Not sire.
Sorry.
You do realize that I want us to talk freely?
Yes.
Are you feeling warmer?
Yes.
Would you like to take your cloak off?
Yes.
As it happens, I am extremely busy tonight.
Shall I go?
Shall we go into the... Shall we?
And this is my private drawing room. Don't you think it's adorable?
Yes. It's charming.
Your wife chose the furniture.
Oh, yes.
I'm very grateful to the princess.
And to me, I hope.
Of course.
I recommended you for the position.
Deeply grateful.
May I claim my reward?
What reward do you claim?
Wine?
Oh, yes, please. I'm delighted you called.
I was passing.
So few people call.
So few people know where you are.
Yes. It's a bit like being a nun.
Not quite like a nun.
I said almost. Not quite.
Then the few of us must call more often.
Whenever you like.
When the Emperor isn't calling.
I've been here for 2 weeks now. He's called twice.
Not very ardent.
He is exceptionally busy.
I think that that's an insult to a beautiful woman.
He makes me doubt whether I am beautiful.
You are. Exceptionally beautiful.
Your reward.
The second part of my reward.
But he is the Emperor.
Oh, yes, he's the Emperor. There's no doubt about that.
Your Emperor?
Yes, so my wife keeps telling me. What's through there?
My bedroom?
May I see?
The Emperor may see.
My wife says that you're not clever. I think you're clever.
Prince, you recommended me for this position. I want to keep it.
Ah. What's she like with you? I never think that he understands women.
As you do.
Well, I understand women like you.
Well? He comes here and he looks at me. And he looks at the clock. And he says something not very interesting. And I say something rather stupid. And he looks at the clock because he is exceptionally busy. And we go into the bedroom.
And he looks at the clock.
If they want me as a friend, they know the price.
They must close their ports to English shipping.
Yes?
And risk a war with England.
Those tradesmen in London will sue for peace when I bankrupt them.
Napoleon, forgive me for being late.
You're always forgiven.
I've been seeing a friend, I must tell you. And Berthier will forgive me too.
Princess.
What friend?
Eleonore.
She hate me for neglecting her?
She feels neglected. You haven't been there for weeks.
We have nothing to say to each other, so we go to bed. This is not a bond between us. There is no bond. She's not what I need.
She has done what you needed.
What's that?
Shall I change your life for you with 3 words? She is pregnant.
Next, Her Majesty has twice received a German fortune teller.
What?
A charlatan who has had some success in Parisian drawing rooms.
Have him sent back to Germany or put him in prison.
Yes, sir.
What did he predict for the Empress? Have your spies told you that?
No, sir.
Well, there's something you don't know. Next.
Lastly, a list of visitors to Mademoiselle Denouelle's house, with dates.
Accurate?
Any house where Your Majesty calls is under my surveillance.
Whether I like it or not.
I am Your Majesty's Minister of Police.
Yes.
Responsible for Your Majesty's safety.
Yes. Who gave you the names?
Mademoiselle Denouelle's footman is in my pay.
Is everyone in your pay, Fouché, except me?
Yes, sir. It's my job. Your Majesty will note the name of the most frequent visitor.
I'm delighted with the news.
I wasn't sure if you would be.
I am delighted. Of course we must keep it a secret.
Yes.
My wife must not find out.
Yes, that's what I thought.
You are, what, 2 months gone?
Just over 2 months.
The child will be born in December.
Yes.
I shall almost certainly be away then, in one country or another.
There wouldn't be much you could do.
I'm sorry that I have not been able to see you more often.
Yes, I'm sorry, too.
You must have been very lonely here.
I was very pleased when Princess Caroline suggested what she suggested. I am very pleased if you're pleased.
You must have been very lonely. With so few visitors. Have you had visitors?
Some.
Who?
Princess Caroline, of course.
Yes.
And 2 of her ladies-in-waiting, the ones who were in the secret.
Yes.
And Duroc, to arrange things.
Yes.
And your valet Constant to tell me when you were coming or when you couldn't.
Yes.
And you, when you came.
Yes.
That's about all.
No one else.
I don't think so.
Murat.
And Prince Murat.
He came here.
With Princess Caroline.
And without.
Once or twice.
By himself.
Once or twice.
No more than that.
I don't think so.
How long ago? 2 months ago.
Not as long ago as that.
Liar!
Prince Murat called for a moment sometimes when he was passing, out of politeness.
I have a list of his visits with the dates.
Why?
Why did you say? He called once or twice when he called a dozen times. Why did you say not 2 months when it was 2 months ago?
Because I didn't want you to think I was having an affair with him.
You were.
No.
Murat does not call on young women out of politeness.
He flirted with me. He tried to make love to me. He didn't succeed.
I've known Murat for 10 years now. When did he not succeed?
With me.
Why did you allow him to call here?
How can I refuse a prince?
How can you refuse a prince? Anything!
I did!
Liar.
He did not go to bed with me. The child is yours.
Tell me the truth. What does it matter to you? Just tell me the truth.
What does it matter? I've never been able to talk to you because you don't listen to me. You think I'm silly. Well, Murat's silly too. But he's amusing. He flirts with me. I like being flirted with. But he's not the emperor. He was not what I was paid for, so I didn't go to bed with him.
I've longed for 10 years to get a child. I've longed for 10 years to prove that I can get a child. The future of France, the destiny of Europe hangs on this point.
The child is yours.
Be sure, beyond all possibility of doubt.
The child is yours, I swear.
I've been married for 10 years, and marriage just taught me one thing, that women are liars.
Oh, the child is yours.
Is it? While we're away, the Empress's allowances to continue as before. Her bills to be paid as before.
Yes, sir.
Mademoiselle Denwell, when her child is born, you and I will be in Germany or Poland or our graves.
The arrangements are made, sire, whatever happens to us.
The birth will have to be registered.
That is arranged, sire.
Get a reliable man. There must be no mistake in the registration.
What wording would you like, sire?
If the child is a boy, he is to be called Leon.
Leon.
Half of her name and half of mine. Because I'm only half sure. Mother, Mademoiselle Eleonore Denwell, lady of property. Father...
Father unknown?
Father... absent.